Below a theoretical surface, the last of humanity took refuge in the bunker under the promise of shelter. The bunker was ruled by the heartless computer. This is their world now. This episode focuses on the main base canon of the original, ever-expanding bunker continuity, as a means to introduce you to its setting. If you're interested in the other canons, check the icon on the top right. Once the corresponding videos are done, you should see them in the iCard. The ever-expanding bunker is a universe which is situated within the titular bunker, sometimes stepping off to explore the surface. Timeline-wise, the ever-expanding bunker story is after many events. The most important one is a worldwide catastrophe called the Event, which led to the usage of the bunker. It's unclear when and where the bunker appeared, considering many of the bunkerites, its inhabitants, are of many different origin and are culturally diverse. The things happening in the bunker depends on the canon. For most of the people warring each other, the bunker itself enduring some kind of solar flare, a cold harsh wasteland, and the bunker itself being taken over by the Coalition, Bogists, or other factions. The bunker itself is a vertical structure of uncertain height or width, with separate levels controlled by the computer. Although certain levels are independent, and the lowest levels are experiencing a state of complete reality failure, they are less about control and more about survival in those messed up ones. There were about 4,000 levels, but a catastrophe, the fog event, cut it down to 500 levels. Deeper are those that suffer reality failure. The computer, whose management is pictured here, is split into multiple departments, like a company, with department heads to control them. The R&D department, the HR department, the IT department. There's also stuff like accounting or PR, but it complicates things. Essentially, the IT departments are the guy in charge of the computer. They get augmented as a reward. The HR department controls the jobs and positions. The R&D department produces goodies like guns, cement, armor, and research stuff like space and time manipulation. Officially, the order of authority is IT first, HR second, and R&D last. But actually, the R&D department could overpower the both of them, but due to its department head being a complete man-child, he never thought of it. The universe was based off an r/political compass memes post, and things evolved from there. A lot of stuff like the bogs, computer, flesh, all that were made in the PCM post. The community strayed away from PCM due to its political extremism and leading to the setting branching a lot. Hell, this entire channel features an entirely original take to the base idea with the Armageddon continuity. But that will be for a later video, once I get more artists on board. This channel's purpose is to catalog this community and make it the all-in-one hub it needs without being limited by the Reddit format. What all this means is that a lot of the format is created with Wojaks in mind, and compasses. They come from 4chan and PCM. There have been deviations from the usual art style, ranging from gorgeous stuff like this to whatever the hell this is. The bunker is separated in multiple factions I previously mentioned. The Corpse Cult, Bogists, Alarm, the Human Liberation Party, or HLP for short, Ignis, Food Clowns, The Flesh, and many more. The most important first. Bogists are a cult with many figures like the Bogist Relator, their recruiter, the lead architect, who builds monuments and designs them, stuff like Bogist churches. There's the Bogist General, he takes care of stuff like troops and all the war side, like munitions. There's also this wonderful fellow, but we don't talk about him, nor Igor Vists. There's also Dylan, the Pope, authority-wise. This cult worships the divinity that is the Bogs. Yes, those diabolical figures are based off parodies of these two French brothers that sadly left us. However, I'll let it slide considering how far the parody is from reality. These figures are the incarnation of greed, extreme narcissism, and sociopathy. This faction's rapid ascension to power is the cause for the luxury canon, where they're in power and everyone else is left fending for their own goals. There's the Coalition. They are a group of rich pre-event billionaires that plot to stash the bunker for themselves, all under the control of their shareholders and their leads. They take control of the bunker in the Coalition's vision canon, and everything is visibly at its worst. Hell, this guy's sad. That's right, cry more, you little baby.
For fuck's sake, what kind of name is HLP manager?
Back on track, we have Alarm, who are extremely complicated to talk about. And I will not talk about them here. They need their own video to be me justice. If you want info right now, look at the wiki. There's the Food Clowns. They are a group of interesting cultists that worship Mush Donald and do absolutely nothing unique besides one of the guys having a literal stand. Yes, I don't find these guys interesting at all, as you can probably hear in the tone of my voice. There's the Scarlet Queen Simps, and same deal. However, that's both because of a lack of interest and a lack of actual knowledge. Both of those will be made justice in a later video. There's the Flesh. It's a hive mind that assimilates people. Very simple, but effective. They also have an ultimate organism of sorts. The Taken, who absorbs people and becomes more and more powerful. It's becoming a nigh-invincible monster is the cause for the death of the computer canon. The Eventists are a group of individuals that believe the event was fabricated by the computer, and search for a way to find the truth about the surface. This faction has multiple deviations like the Boggist Eventists, that seem to incorporate Boggist views into their beliefs. Gold and Iron are factions that are respectively based on sexual hormones. Gold being estrogen, Iron being testosterone. Gold are a group of mostly trans-feminine people that teach femininity to the Bunkerites. They seem to have an affinity with guns. Iron, however, is a group that is based on bodybuilding and seem like a frat house with an affinity to fistfights. Those two are supplied those hormones by the computer and are in alliance due to it. For the less impactful factions we have Ignis. They are pyromaniacs who fight the flesh, worshipping their lord and savior Asbestos, seemingly unaware that it's killing all of them. The Corpse Cult are a group of sorcerers that can control souls and do things such as put them into objects. According to my notes, they seem allied with Alarm, but I'm not certain with that, so don't take that at 100% value. The HLP, or Human Liberation Party, are an independent faction controlled by the manager. The HLP has a lot of previous members of the computer and are primordially based in level 97. Their goal is to install some kind of ethics board to limit computer activity and taking in mind the people being affected instead of it being a side effect. The timeline for the base canon is a bit weird since it's a three-parter, each with their own place in the timeline. First we have the pre-fog event Compass, that takes place before things went to hell in a handbasket. The first time by Encompass, that happens sometime later, introduces a lot of the factions. And then there's the Cold War with the second 9x9. There's also a lot more compasses happening in those. There's alternative stories like Level 97, the Human Liberation Party, the Head Investigator, other canons, the Coalition, plenty of other stuff. All this just for one setting. It's extremely variable, and that's a strong unique point of EEB. Where, besides SCP, that doesn't seem to be this kind of stuff. This was an overview of EEB's main continuity and main canon. If you like this kind of stuff, subscribe. I'll do other episodes later. I definitely think the ever-expanding bunker universe has some potential that I'll be glad to share and create. I've got a Twitter, I guess, and a Discord server. It's currently being created. I'm thinking of making a bot for it, but right now I'm gonna wait a bit until I create that and the subreddits. Also, next episode might take longer due to personal stuff, vacation, getting microphone, all that kind of stuff. Well, if the owner of this channel doesn't cast me out. In any case, have a good one. Bye!